Hey, what's going on, AHA family? I wanted to really quickly ask you guys a question because I saw something weird today and I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. But basically, in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on all this information, but just look at the overall idea of what's happening. But I believe in Tennessee there was a bill on the table, and the bill basically is stating that if maybe you guys don't know, but they're basically putting vaccines in food now, okay? So that's the next level that they're taking it with the vaccines and everything. And the question is, if there are vaccines in tomatoes, for example, or lettuce, or whatever fresh produce you might choose, should it be law that there is essentially an ability for someone to watch their dosage? Because if you put a vaccination, a prescription in a fruit or vegetable, and people are not aware that it's in there, should they be aware so that they can properly dose? Now, you guys already know where I'm at with the vaccines, so I really need to state that. But the question is interesting because the guy, I guess, who was on the committee, the congressman or whatever, I'm not exactly sure, what this board was, but I guess let's say the congressman was asking the guy presenting the bill, do we even have legislation that allows you to put vaccines in food right now in Tennessee? And he asked the question, if I'm not mistaken, on 3 separate occasions. And the guy presenting the bill essentially ignored him and just kept going back to dosage. And I thought that was interesting because the question was very clear and concise. And it was almost as if it was like his job was to just get them to pass this bill so that when they do inevitably roll out this vaccine food, people can know their dosage. But it's almost like putting the cart before the horse, because the first thing you'd have to do is pass a law that allows you to put these vaccine foods in the stores. And I believe that the strategy is that if we can get laws protecting individuals and notifying them of these vaccine foods, then we can go ahead and get the vaccine foods in there. And so I can see where the congressperson was coming from, because he's basically like, we're not even going to vote on this. Like, we're not even going to deal with this because it's not legal to even put these foods in the stores. But unfortunately, the rest of his colleagues, I don't think saw eye to eye, and they went ahead and passed the bill to the next step, whatever the next stage is. So my question is, are you guys okay with eating fruits and vegetables that essentially vaccinate you? If so, do you want to be aware of dosage so that you don't overdose? I think that is a great question of safety. Or do you think this is utterly ridiculous and unnecessary? Like, at what point in human history have we ever needed this, and why do we need it now? And do you think maybe there's a deeper agenda at work? Now, I'm just curious to know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys know where I'm at with it. I'm gonna just say, I'm not for putting anything extra in the food. As a matter of fact, when we look at the foods that won't be considered fruits and vegetables, so we're talking about your processed foods, there's already so much stuff in the processed foods already, and that's one of the biggest issues we have with health right now. One really simple example of this, which I'm sure you guys have heard before, but there are iron shavings in your cereal. All of your cereals that say fortified with iron, they have iron shavings in the cereal. So that's the type of thing, the stuff they're doing already. I cannot imagine them manipulating the gene or the cell of a food, a fruit, or a vegetable, an apple or something, and getting that right. Just checking their track record with the processed foods and what they've done so far. So as you guys already know, I started my garden last year, And I'm really excited about getting it started again this year to see how much it flourishes, because last year was more or less prepping the soil, just, you know, getting things prepared for this year. But anyway, yeah, what do you guys think, man? Sounds pretty crazy.